Look, we can argue about it all day.
I want no extra vengeance.
But to me, this is not only the best movie of all time, but also the tastiest.
It's the best in the city.
We've made all the yummiest food from The Godfather, so you can watch the movie and eat along with La Familia, whilst you host an epic cinematic dinner.
I get wild eight.
Leave the gun.
No.
And let's make some cannolis.
I want to make him an offer again with you.
Welcome to a film club like no other.
What the hell is this? That's a Sicilian message. It means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Today we're making an offer you can't refuse. A Sicilian classic, swordfish rolls, so you and your friends can eat with the fishes. You'll need 4 beautiful slices of swordfish, about 150 grams each. And we're going to slice each fillet in half because we want to get them nice and thin. Lay the fish down on a piece of baking paper and gently pound them with a meat mallet until they're about 5mm thick.
So they beat her like an animal.
Trim the edges to make them neat and keep hold of the trimmings for later. There's no waste in this family.
What's the matter with you?
Unfortunately, I'm not in Sicily, so I had to buy my fish frozen, so these need drying off with a kitchen towel to get rid of all the excess moisture.
You're out, Tom.
Then pop the fish to one side and let's get to the filling. Grate 20 grams of parmesan or pecorino into a bowl, along with 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, 2 minced cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of chopped capers, the zest of a lemon, and a tablespoon of good olive oil. Italian, of course.
It's perfect for us.
And here's where it gets interesting. 2 tablespoons of pine nuts, and the same of raisins. Don't question it, just trust me. Capiche?
Because it insults my intelligence.
Finally, chop the fish trimmings from earlier into a small dice and pop those in, along with 50 grams of breadcrumbs, and mix everything together. Now take your swordfish and season both sides with salt and pepper. Spoon over the filling, dividing it equally amongst each piece of fish and gently pressing it down so that it's tight and compact, like a business deal done in the back of a quiet restaurant. Then it's time to roll. Roll each slice of fish around the filling, making sure it's secure and stuffing back in any filling that falls out of the sides. I've got some dried breadcrumbs here, about 100 grams. Season them with a little salt and pepper and roll each fish parcel in them. Compact the roll so that it's nice and tight, like you're sealing a deal that no one can back out of.
The sword stops now.
Drizzle over some olive oil, and then these need about 15 minutes in a 180 fan oven. To the movie, I'm going to serve these skewered with a little decorative head and tail and wrapped in brown paper, but I'm a pass on the bulletproof vest.
Shut up and set the table.
And there you have it, a dish so good no one will dare refuse it.
Thank you for the dinner and a very pleasant evening.
Yeah, I can't talk. Yeah, I'll see you tonight.
Hey, Mikey, why don't you tell that nice girl you love her? I love you with all of my heart. If I don't see you again soon, I'm gonna die. Hey, come over here, kid. Learn something. You never know, you might have to cook for 20 guys someday. You see, you start out with a little bit of oil, and you fry some garlic. Then you throw in some tomatoes, some tomato paste. You fry it. You make sure it doesn't stick. You got it to a boil. You shove in all your sausage and your meatballs. Huh? And a little bit of wine. And a little bit of sugar. And that's my trick.
Why don't you cut the crap? I got more important things for you to do.
For the meatballs, we start with 250 grams of mince, half beef and half pork. The beef brings body and the pork adds richness, a perfect balance.
Good.
Throw in a finely diced onion, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 3 tablespoons of fresh breadcrumbs, half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon and a half of dried oregano, and the same of kosher salt. Crack in an egg, and now here's the part where we get personal. Get your hands in there and work the mixture. Once everything is perfectly combined, form the mixture into 16 equal-sized meatballs, neat and in order like a well-organised crime syndicate.
Okay.
Get them on a baking tray and drizzle them with a little olive oil and bake these beauties for about 20 minutes at 190 fat. Get yourself 4 sausages on a medium-high heat. These are going to need about 10 minutes until they're brown and almost cooked through. Don't worry if they're a little pink in the middle, because they're going to continue to cook in the sauce.
Good.
Get the sausages out of the pan and leave them aside to cool. Add 2 finely diced onions to the same pan with a little drizzle of olive oil. We're going to give these about 5 minutes until the onion is translucent and just starting to colour. Mince 4 cloves of garlic and add to the onions and cook for a few minutes until the garlic smells like success.
Good.
Add in 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. Then cook out the puree for a couple of minutes. Next, a glass of red wine goes in, about 150 ml. This needs to simmer away until the wine has reduced by about half. Once the wine is reduced down, add in 2 tins of tomatoes with a splash of water. Season generously with salt and pepper, add half a teaspoon of chili flakes, and of course don't forget Clemenza's trick.
A little bit of sugar, and that's my trick.
Slice up the sausage and add into the pot. Gently transfer in the meatballs. And bring that up to a simmer for about half an hour. Five minutes before the sauce is done, chop up a handful of basil and parsley and add that in. For pasta, obviously we're doing spaghetti. Cook it up in water as salty as the Mediterranean Sea and make sure it's a little underdone so that it can finish up cooking in the sauce.
That's good.
And that's it, a dish perfect for all the family. Mangia.
Grazie. Grazie.
Good.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
The filling is simply a flavoured ricotta. We need 750 grams of the good stuff.
Look beautiful. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Line a colander with a cheesecloth and put all the cheese in to drain. We want to get rid of all the moisture, so let this sit in the fridge for at least 4 hours.
I will see you soon. Love your grandson, Frank.
You can see that all the water has drained off.
Not a hint. Absolutely nothing.
Get it into a bowl with 200 grams of caster sugar and the zest of an orange.
Come on.
Boo.
To get it super smooth and creamy, give it a quick blitz with an immersion blender and then transfer to a piping bag. This needs to set up in the fridge for at least 4 hours, ideally overnight. For the dough, grab a mixing bowl and sift together 250 grams of superfine 00 flour
There's a lot of money in that white powder.
with 50 grams of caster sugar, half a teaspoon of cocoa powder, quarter of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and just a pinch of salt. Now for that flaky texture, we'll need 30 grams of cold lard or unsalted butter. Chop it into cubes and then add to your dry ingredients. Use your fingers or a pastry cutter to work it together until it resembles breadcrumbs. Create a little well in the centre, crack in 1 large egg, pour in a tablespoon of white vinegar and 60 millilitres of masala wine. You can swap it out for sweet white wine if you don't have masala.
Holy! No wine.
With a fork, gently bring everything together. Knead the dough for 7 to 10 minutes until it's smooth and elastic. Cover up your gorgeous dough with cling film and pop it in the fridge for an hour. Once the dough has had a nice rest, it's time to shape those cannoli shells. Divide the dough into 3 portions and flatten with your hands. Then pass it through a pasta machine on the thickest setting. We're going to do a couple of passes on each setting and work our way down until we reach a thickness of about 2 to 3 millimetres. No pasta machine? No problem. Just use a rolling pin on a floured surface. It will just require a lot of elbow grease.
Is this necessary?
Now use a round cutter about 10 centimetres in diameter and cut out some perfect little circles of dough. To get that classic cannoli shape, you have to use cannoli tubes like these. You shape the dough around the tube and then fry them tube and all.
A little dangerous.
Seal the edge with a little beaten egg. Unfortunately, if you want to make your own shells, you have to pick up some of these tubes. The ones I'm using are linked in the description box below this video.
Thank you, listen. My most valued friend.
Once you have wrapped them all up, it's time to fry. Fill your pot with a few inches worth of a neutral oil. You need quite a deep pot for this, as the dough needs to be fully submerged to fry evenly. Once the oil hits 175 degrees C, carefully lower in your dough wrapped tubes one at a time, being careful not to get it too crowded in there. Keep flipping the tubes and make sure that they're always fully submerged in the oil. Otherwise you'll get random big air bubbles popping up and making them uneven.
Be careful, huh? Yes, sir.
We're looking for that perfect even browned exterior. About 2 to 3 minutes should do the trick. Once they're golden, pull them out and let them drain on paper towels. Being careful not to touch the hot metal with your hands, gently slide the shells off the tubes. And there you have it, cannoli shells as unforgettable as the legacy of the Corleones. È perfetto.
Mamma mia, so cascato innamorare.
Once the shells are fully cooled, pipe in the chilled ricotta cream, filling from each end. You can decorate the ends with whatever you fancy. Chocolate chips, chopped nuts or candied orange peel. Pick whatever you want. It's not personal, Sonny.
It's strictly business.
If you fancy making your own candied peel, the recipe is over on biteclub.tv and linked in the description box below. And that's all, folks, a cinematic dinner party spread that's perfect for all the family. Bellissimo! Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, and if you got this far, leave us a little red rose emoji down below. Tablescape ideas, equipment links, full recipes, and time codes of when to serve each course are available on our website, linked in the description box. Remember, the first rule of Bite Club is, you talk about Bite Club.